Good morning. This is the recommending committee for February 3rd, 2025, and we are officially called to order. And item number 2 is announcement regarding the compliance with the open meeting law. Madam Clerk.
All members are in attendance, and you do have a quorum.
Thank you very much. Item number 3 is public comment. Comment during this portion of the agenda must be limited to matters on the agenda for action. If you wish to be heard, come forward and give your name for the record. The amount of discussion, as well as the amount of time of any single speaker is allowed, may be limited. Good morning.
Hey, good morning. Bryce Henderson, president of No Kill Las Vegas. I'm here to support the only item on the agenda today, which is the creation of the Animal Advisory Board. You know, we're out there in the field dealing with the animal issues on a daily basis, and having this board will be an opportunity for us to educate the council better on what's going on out there. The city already has over 20 different boards and committees, some for parking. And with the how much of a concern animals are in our community, we would really appreciate if you vote in favor of this today and send it to the council to vote. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And anybody who would like to come down, please do so now.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Patricia Reed, and today I'm representing Hearts Alive Village, which I thought was more appropriate to wear because giving animals a voice, that's exactly what we're trying to do. We've been working for years, 2016, 2017, when things started kind of crumbling. These people have worked so hard to get to where we are. Now, after the last meeting that I went to for the Animal Foundation, and I was here and I presented the fact that things weren't necessarily apropos as they were presented at the meeting, I think it's even more important now that this advisory council be put together. They need people, and forget the bias, because it's about the animals. It's not about us, it's not about the rescues, certainly not about any government issue. We need to get this issue under control, and anything that we can do needs to happen, and this falls under the category of anything. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, good morning, council members. For the record, Gina Greisen, Nevada Voters for Animals. Like everyone else, I'm here in support of the creation of the Animal Advisory Committee. I believe there's about 23 committees already that the city has that provide input and recommendations to the council. So we would really like to see the creation of this committee, because we're still, just last week again, all the shelters are constantly on the news saying that there's a crisis. So I'm sort of in the unique position, having authored many of the laws, to know what the different ordinances are across the jurisdictions, and there's so much confusion. So that's one of the things, for me anyway, that I would like to see, to be able to look and update the different codes, work with the other jurisdictions, and do our best to find solutions to these critical issues that we're constantly having with the animals. We were doing a lot better before COVID hit, and we're still having dramatic crisis post-COVID. So there's a lot of things that we can do to work together, update some of the codes, find different solutions, and that's what this is about. And you guys have so many things that you oversee, planning commission, zoning, so many laws. You guys can't possibly get in the weeds and be as involved as we can, because this is our focus. So I've been doing this 20 years. Please, please support the creation of this advisory committee so that so the city can lead the way, because we're asking the other jurisdictions to do it as well. I'd love to see a multi-jurisdictional task force put together, but for now, let's do this City Animal Advisory Committee and get working on solutions. Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Brandy Glasgow, and I'm a professional dog groomer in town, in the city. And I'm also an advocate and help all that stuff, but I'm kind of coming from a different angle. That one of my concerns, because I've been also supporting this for a long time, but that my concern is making sure that we have members that represent the professional animal care community, because most of the ordinances, or about half the ordinances, actually regulate and deal with businesses like veterinarians and groomers and daycares and things like that. So you have to have people that represent that community to be able to provide insight to what we need or don't need, or what will help or hurt us when it comes to these ordinances. And like the county is right now, or tomorrow, is going to be voting on their Title 10 update. A lot of what they're updating is regulation of businesses that are associated with animal care and welfare. So please consider that in the process of appointing members and stuff, and make sure that that's not just people who love animals and the general public like that. They have to be educated in a way that was going to provide sound advice to you guys. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Good morning, Dave Schweiger, Bunnies Matter. Also, I have run a little group called the IBB, which was Illegal Breeder Busters. First, I'm for this committee, just because we need for everybody to know what's going on, what the problems are. I can tell you, like this Saturday, we had 0 adoptions, 7 surrenders. We are full with bunnies. I guess one of the things that I look at, and I've said this a million times, instead of going after the symptoms of the problem, let's go after the source of the problem. Illegal breeding is rampant in the city and worse in the county. You guys are the only ones who've done anything. You did last quarter, you guys did went after out-of-state illegal breeders. So that's a good start, but we need the county to do it, everybody to do that. And then also the second part, besides rampant illegal breeders, there is not enough low-cost spay and neuter. So if we went after illegal breeders and we help provide spay and neuters that were affordable, maybe we don't need more animal control people. Maybe we don't need another shelter, but right now everybody's busting at the seams. It makes sense, oh, have another shelter. If you built another shelter, I bet it would be full in a week. So instead of spending money there on the back end, why don't we go after these illegal breeders? There's, 15, 20 every single day on Craigslist. They're on Instagram, they're on Facebook. So anyway, so I'm for the committee, but I'm just saying, if you Band-Aid it, give Animal Foundation another $5 million. They're never gonna adopt their way or foster their way out of this problem. So that's it, thank you.
Thank you.
Kathleen Witherspoon, I'm here representing Community Cat Angels. I just want to let you know that I also and our organization is in favor of the Animal Advisory Committee. Please be aware that it is not an advisory committee to TAF, as we have seen publicized and causing misunderstanding amongst the community members. It is actually an advisory committee to the City Council, so that we can help find solutions to the issues that are challenging here in our community and across the valley. There's approximately 200,000 unneutered or community cats out there. There are over 100 rescues, dog and cat rescues, trying to plug the hole. But as Dave just said, we can't do it by adoption only. We have to address the root of the problem, which is overbreeding and also unneutered or unspayed animals. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Tracy Paz. Is there any way that I can have you guys see pictures of these? Or is it
Yes.
working today?
Yeah, we will.
Yay.
There it is.
Okay, good. I came to appeal to you guys. Okay, yeah. I came to appeal to you guys sort of in a different light instead of a financial, or I just came just to appeal to your heart. As of this morning, I went on the Animal Foundation website, and I found that there are 43 animals scheduled to die today at 3 p.m. 43 of them. I was going to bring all 43, but I figured I didn't know if we had a time limit today, so I just did a few. This is Kimbo, 15 years old, has cataracts and a dental, neutered, so he had a family. Sorry. So he had a family. His family's not looking for him. He's dying today at 3 o'clock today. This is Callie. Callie's on the list today, too. Callie's also dying today because Callie has kennel distress. Even though she's fine in playgroups, they take her out, the volunteers take her out to playgroup, and she plays with them but nobody's adopting her. This is Keith. Keith also has kennel distress. Keith is 3 years old. Keith is dying at 3 o'clock today as well. This is Diva. Diva is a 10-year-old owner surrender who apparently after 10 years, they just decided they don't want her anymore. She's chipped, she's spayed, ready to go home today, but she's also dying today at 3 o'clock. This is a 6-month-old husky whose name is Minx. He has a broken ankle. He came to the shelter emaciated and dehydrated. Again, family never came for him. This is Mamacita, 5 years old, owner surrender. Family left notes on her saying how wonderful she is and please don't kill her. She was brought to the shelter. She's also going today at 3 o'clock. These are just some of them that I was able to print because, again, I didn't want to take up 43 times of you guys looking at the same sad faces, but please just do the right thing. Sleep at night knowing that you did the right thing for these animals, knowing that they can count on you and that they have another resource besides what we have now. Thank you.
Is there anybody else for public comment?
Why she gotta make me cry? She always makes me cry. So I'm tired. Like, I'm tired of coming down here to the city meetings, to the county meetings, to the Animal Foundation meetings, to beg for you guys to be the voice for these animals like we are trying to be. An animal advisory committee is, to me, just sounds like kind of common sense. Like, why wouldn't that be something that you guys would support? The fact that we have to like beg and plead for you guys to pass something like this, to be their voice, to me is ridiculous.
I'm sorry to interrupt. Do you mind saying your name for the record?
Oh yeah, Melanie, founder Kiss My Paws Rescue.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sorry. So now I lost my train of thought. Anyways, I just feel like, why isn't this something that would be passed immediately? Like, why is this something we have to beg and plead for? To be the voice of these animals and to show support for the rescues and the people in this city that are trying to make a difference and supporting these animals. Thank you.
Thank you. If there's anybody else for public comment, please make your way up.
Hi, Mariola Latowska. I'm just a foster mom for Forgotten Dogs Animal Rescue. I've never been to a council meeting before, but we are just drowning. Like, my heart breaks every day because we keep having to deny healthy young dogs because nobody has room, and we're just a Band-Aid. Every dog that we save, there's 10, 20 more that we get requests to help, and we just can't. We don't have enough foster homes. We don't have enough resources. And I'm in favor of the Animal Advisory Committee just to get us more of a voice and to start enforcing the laws that are currently in place and going after backyard breeders and enforcing those laws so that we can actually start fixing this problem.
Thank you very much. If there's anybody else for public comment, make your way up now. Otherwise, this will be our last public comment person.
My name is Jose Garcia. Like I stated in the meeting of December 18th, I would like to be the chair of the new committee. I have over 30 years experience, and some of the comments here people say is that it happens overnight. Everything takes time. It could take a day or 5 years before you guys approve it. So I would like to, again, Jose Garcia, 8600 West Charleston.
Thank you very much. And I'm going to close the public comment period, moving on to item number 4 for possible action to approve the final minutes by reference to the January 13th, 2025 recommending committee meeting. I'll entertain a motion.
Move to approve item number 4.
There's a motion. Please vote and post. That passes. Moving on to item number 5, bill number 2024-41. This is an abeyance item for possible action amends Title II of the Las Vegas Municipal Code by adding Chapter 2.67 to establish the Animal Advisory Committee, sponsored by Councilwoman Victoria Seaman. And this will be a public hearing. Most of you, I think everybody here just spoke, but if you have something else to say, let me know now. Okay, hearing and seeing none. Mr. Steed, do you mind giving us an overview of the Animal Advisory Committee as the ordinance? And then I think I asked if you could provide some historical context for us, if you're okay with that.
Yes, thank you. Councilwoman Seaman asked for this advisory committee to be established. The purpose of it is to provide advice to the City Council regarding all animal-related issues, policies, and practices. It has the requirements for the number of people serving, what kind of background they should have, et cetera. The city did have in the past an animal advisory committee. It was established back in the 90s, and its purpose was solely to review particular animals that were thought to be dangerous or vicious and make a determination. Eventually, the committee also received referrals from municipal court to do the same thing. The committee was in existence from early 90s to 2011, when it was determined by management that there weren't enough cases being referred, and so the council repealed that provision, establishing that those functions would be performed by a hearing officer whenever there was a need for a determination to take place.
Thank you, Mr. Steed. And this is a public hearing. If there's anybody that wants to speak again. Okay, hearing and seeing none, I will close the public hearing. I'm going to just make a couple of points, then I'll turn it over to the council members. So for me, I appreciate everyone coming down, but based on the historical context, I'm going to not support this. One of the reasons why is I'm a little anxious about it being confused with a committee that would oversee or have any impact on the Animal Foundation, and I don't want people to have that misperception because it does not do that. Secondly, I feel that it puts a layer between you all and the council. And my experience working with the other boards and commissions is my appointed members, I'm speaking the Senior Citizen Advisory Committee in particular, they struggle with agenda items to come up with, they struggle with connecting with me. And so I don't think it's the best way to get your voice across. At least with my Parks and Rec Commissioner, my Senior Citizen Advisory Committee member, they don't ever report back to me. And so it's a disconnect for me, and I think that would happen in this case as well. But you have 7 active council members, and Councilwoman Seaman's done a great job advocating for the interests. If you all were to send us bill item changes or laws that you want to see, I think you have an open and receptive council to making those changes, and I'd rather that go to the council members as opposed to a layer in between the council and you all. So I'm not supportive of it, but I'll turn it over to my colleagues here. If there's no questions, Councilwoman Seaman.
Yeah. Thank you. So the purpose of the advisory is so that the council members would be aware of issues so that when ordinances come up or they want to create ordinances, they have the ability to do so. Each council member and the mayor would choose their own person, whether it be a veterinarian, a dog groomer, an advocate, would be able to let the council know. I think there is a huge disconnect about what's happening in the community and the council members in the mayor, just by the mere meetings we've had over animal issues. And this would kind of be, they have no authority, the committee. They're just advising the council members of what may be needed. This is a huge issue in our community. I had this whole statement, but I'm kind of bypassing it because there is a disconnect as of now, I see, because there's a huge issue out there. And I think rather than having them advocate and call my office, that they could ask their animal advisory committee what they believe are the issues. And then we can put out the PR or whatever we need to do. But animals are living, breathing entities that are suffering in the city of Las Vegas. We are the city of Las Vegas. We need to protect those animals. And I think it's time to stop putting politics over animals. And I think it's time that we have common sense, not only ordinance for our animals, but a committee that can advise those council members so they don't have a disconnect. And maybe if our council members are not getting anything from all the committees, maybe they should engage more. But I'm tired. I'm tired of you having to come down here because the only issues that people have to come down here and fight is for our animals. And, you know, I was thinking while the woman was showing the 40-some animals that are going to be killed today, how many of them can I bring home? And the answer is none. I have too many already. But I'm done. I am urging this committee to use common sense and allow us to have the voice of the people who have been coming down here to be able to tell their council members what is needed. And it could be as simple as a PR campaign for spay and neuter. I don't know. I'm just the only one that they're reaching out to because I'm the only one that is listening to the council members, to the advocate groups, and the veterinarians, and the stores, and everything else. So I'm going to urge my colleagues to recommend that we go forth with an animal advisory committee. Thank you. I move to approve Bill number 5, 2024-41.
Please. That does not pass, and I am going to move to deny.
So could you explain to them it moves forward
It
to
will
the
go to the
council?
council
It's
meeting
just not
tomorrow.
recommended. So it will be voted on. Can you explain?
Yeah, so what will happen is this will go forward to the city council meeting tomorrow, and at that point, the mayor...
Or Wednesday?
We're on Monday. Yeah, sorry, Wednesday. Wednesday morning at 9:30, the council meeting will start. Is it this Wednesday?
It's not eligible for that.
When is it?
19th.
Oh, my apologies. Here, let me read this. It's printed right here in front of me. I apologize. If moved out of committee today, which it is, Bill number 2024-41 will be eligible for adoption at the city council meeting on February 19th, 2025. Read it. Okay. And I made a second motion to deny. And we can vote in post.
So what is your motion?
To deny.
Deny recommendation?
Yes.
So I should put
Nay.
nay. Well, it's not up, so nay.
And that motion passes. So this will be heard at the February 19th, 2025 City Council meeting, 2024-41. Sorry about that. And that brings us to item number 6, citizen participation. Public comment during this portion of the agenda must be limited to matters within the jurisdiction of the recommending committee. No subject may be acted upon by the recommending committee unless that subject is on the agenda and is scheduled for action. If you wish to be heard, come to the podium and give your name for the record. And we'll limit time to 2 minutes.
Is this closing comment?
We're at public comment. Yep.
Hey, Bryce Henderson again. Frankly, I'm shocked at what I saw here today. This was an easy vote. There's no reason to vote against creating an animal advisory committee. I know you came up with some reasons, Councilman Knudsen, but I don't buy your logic. Your constituents won't buy your logic, and the animals are going to suffer because of it. All we're asking is to give them an additional voice. And according to your reasoning, committees don't work, so I don't know why you even have 20 of them. I agree with Councilwoman Seaman. If your committee members are not getting in touch with you, you should engage with them. You should not hold the animals accountable because you're not engaging with your committee members. So we will be reaching out to the other council members. There are other votes that we will lobby for, and we will all be back here in bigger numbers, and we will let all of your constituents know how you vote.
Thank you.
Councilwoman Seaman, thank you very much for what you do to protect our pets and our animals. I'm really disappointed.
State your name for the record, please.
I'm sorry, Patricia Reed. Very disappointed. But I'm sorry, Mr. Pro Tem, it doesn't surprise me because you're going to do anything you can to protect the Animal Foundation. But this doesn't have anything to do with the Animal Foundation. It's everything because it's such a mess. And I'm sorry, Ms. Polinsky, but you're here to represent the people. I have yet to see you represent your people in your area. I have sat here in this room with people packed, arguing against the things that you've allowed in your area. I'm joining forces. I don't care who you run against between the two of you. I will make sure I support their campaigns. Thank you again, Ms. Seaman.
Councilman, I have one question. How do you pronounce your name?
Knudsen.
Okay. Last Jose Garcia.
Thank you.
Last week I met with Mayor Pro Tem Gary Reeves. So I'm gonna let you know, as Jose Garcia, the former Vice President of East Las Vegas Community Outreach Corporation, the city of Las Vegas gave us a grant for $800,000. We built 40 homes. In 2001, we sold them for $5 million. So if this committee does not get approved, believe me, I will do whatever it takes to vote against you, to get you out of office.
Gina Greisen, Nevada Voters for Animals. It goes without saying that we're terribly disappointed that you would vote against something that's so critically important. I'm not aware that when there's these other issues that the animals are dying because we need solutions. And to turn down a committee that could actually help. And as someone who has to come down here, and I'm sure y'all know, and I've said it before, I'm currently fighting stage 4 cancer. It taxes me greatly to have to come down here, come for a recommending committee meeting, come for a city council meeting, go over to Clark County Commission. We were over at the courthouse today. When people don't do their jobs and we have to fight for these things, we have to show up to these meetings. If you had an animal advisory committee, then that's the place where we could go, people could put their input in, and then they would bring those recommendations to you. But then we have to come, you said, oh, well, just call us. Yes, I do. We call her all the time. We call them all the time. Victoria, thank you so much for everything that you've done. You and your staff are amazing. And she has put forward many proposals for us and ordinances. But every time we do that, it requires us to come back again and again and again, and putting a committee together makes it to where people can just come to one meeting when it's convenient, usually held at night, you know, where people who are at work, a lot of these people have to take time off of work to come here. It's ridiculous that you'd have to drag us down here every time. And I can't help, the optics of this look horrible. It absolutely looks like politics. I mean, to have the mayor stand in for you, Councilman Knudsen, the day that this was proposed, to obey it, and then have her not even be here again or have given any direction, because I talked to her office this morning, is disgusting.
Thank you.
Please stop putting politics over animals.
Thank you. Come on down.
Hi, Dave Schweiger, Bunny's Matter. While I'm disappointed with not having the committee, I go back to, what are we going to do? If you want to help Animal Foundation, stop illegal breeders. If you want to help Animal Foundation, let's get low-cost spay and neuter going. I mean, there isn't. I can tell you, I had paid for one of my wife's friends. She couldn't afford to get her 2 cats spayed or neutered. It was $900 and something for 2 female cats. Just people aren't going to do it. They're going to throw their cats outside. So I just want to know what you guys, you don't want a committee? What are you going to do? Let's stop illegal breeding. And it's easy to do. I have a group. We've done it. We stopped last year because Jim Anderson decided, instead of his officers going, investigating, taking the dogs, finding them, that they would just send a letter 6 weeks after we reported it. So, you know, it was ridiculous. So it's, you know, if you really want to help the animals, Animal Foundation was killing over 400 animals a month. This year, their number is actually I guess with the $5 million, it's around 300 a month. That's a lot of animals still. All we have to do is stop the illegal breeding, provide low-cost spay and neuter, and all these other problems go away or at least get smaller. So that's what when I was at the county meeting for Title X changes, point blank said, I mean, we don't have one dime toward going after illegal breeders. Let's solve the real problem, the source of the problem. Thank you.
Thank you. Come on down if you want to speak, please.
Good morning. My name is Jill Lutonen. So I was a little late, so I had to get kids to school. I'm not sure what all happened already, but I just want to put my 2 cents in. An animal advisory committee, as Patricia said, is not just about the Animal Foundation, but a whole slew of issues. I am a volunteer in the Lost and Found community, and I also help run some of the Lost and Found pages and rehoming pages. We see a ton of issues that could be addressed with a committee, and with a committee, we could bring those issues to you and make your job easier. Help us help you, help the animals, basically. I forgot what else. Anyway, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Randy Glasgow again. I understand what you mean by where you feel like there's been misconstrued, misconstrued idea of what the Animal Advisory Committee would be or is or supposed to be. It has really nothing to do with the Animal Foundation in the way that, like, there's nothing that they would be able to do to advise that would affect the Animal Foundation as far as them not being able to do their job in a negative way, well, in a positive way. It can help them in a positive way. Like, how many days that somebody has to hold a lost dog when they find it? There is no guidelines in our ordinances. If we set one and we have more ideas, the Animal Foundation will then have a better idea of, like, more animals coming in, less animals coming in. If someone thinks that they have to hold an animal for 30 days that they find, they're not going to do that. If they know that they can hold it for 7 days before they can keep it or rehome it or whatever, then the Animal Foundation is not going to see as many dogs coming in from there. They need to have somebody on the advisory committee that comes from the Animal Foundation that represents the Animal Foundation. That would alleviate some of those concerns because we can't pass the ordinances without discussing these things with them. And it's not a solution where people can go and it's just advising you guys on what the community needs, what the businesses need, what the Animal Foundation needs, and what the public needs, and how that can combine together. You guys, over the last 3 years, I've been coming to meeting stuff, and honestly, even with all the good intentions, you guys don't know what those things are. You don't know it from the businesses, you don't know it from the people, and you don't know it as a whole, like that what we need and what the community as a whole needs to be able to get through this problem. And that includes the Animal Foundation as part of our community. They have the contract, we know that. We have to learn to cooperate with them and deal with them, but they can have a voice on the committee too.
Thank you.
Kathleen Witherspoon, Community Cat Angels. Councilwoman Seaman, I appreciate all that you have done in your attempts to convince the city and the county and the city of North Las Vegas to help the animals who have no voice for themselves. The Animal Advisory Committee was designed to be a voice for the animals, to provide the information to the city who runs the contract for the shelter, to the city, information for you to see what's happening in our communities. When I originally spoke, I specifically said that there were issues with the understanding of what the committee was for. That's upon the city to make it clear what the committee is destined to do, not for all of these individuals to keep coming down here every month and requesting over and over assistance. This was an easy decision in my mind that you should have made. The historical information absolutely does not apply here. That was for vicious dogs, and the committee was disbanded. This is not the same thing, and there's no rationale that you could use that in order to state that this is unnecessary. You have the community here speaking for hundreds under these organizations, indicating there is a need to provide the information of what's happening in the community and solutions that the city can help us with. Thank you.
Thank you. If there's anybody else for public comment, please make your way on down.
Tracy, pause again. Can you put this on again?
Yeah.
The camera? Okay.
There's a request for the overhead.
Okay.
Oh,
I just wanted to show you this face again. The rescue community will try to step up for these 43 animals that I mentioned as of 5:45 this morning that are on the kill list. The rescue community will try their hardest to try to place these animals in people's garages, bathrooms, wherever they can to try to keep them alive a little bit longer. But at the end of the day, if they can't save them, if you guys go on social media, I don't know if you do or not, but if you look on Facebook or you look on any lost and found pages or anybody that's trying to help like we are, you're gonna see a little rainbow by their name with a little RIP saying, sorry, Kimbo, we tried to save you. That's all I wanna say.
thank you.
My last closing statement is, do you know who Vannery Garcia is? Vannery Garcia is in Africa with the United States Navy with a bachelor's degree of neuroscience. She is going to be a veterinarian. That is my daughter. She's been overseas for 11 years serving our country. And I vowed to when she was born I would do whatever she takes, whatever she wants. Jose Garcia.
Thank you.
Melanie again, Kiss My Paws Rescue. I'm not surprised.
Sorry, I don't want to interrupt, but your name again.
Sorry?
First and last name, please.
Melanie Shane, Kiss
Thank
My
you.
Paws Rescue. So I can't say that I'm surprised, quite frankly, that you would deny this. Confused, I think, is more of my concern. You're using the excuse that the Animal Advisory Committee was something in the past, but that's in the past. So the whole point of starting a new advisory committee would be something completely different than what it used to be in the past. So my question also would be is every time we've come down here, whether it's an animal advisory issue or whatever, I have not heard any solutions other than what we come to the table with. And it's super frustrating when I feel like you're looking at these and you're like, no, 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 and not caring that we care and we live in this city from any kind of support from you guys as far as, okay, well, if you don't like this, then what's the solution then? Rather than just, nope, I don't like it, nay, nay, nay. What's the solution? Because I didn't hear a solution when you decided to turn this down. So then what's the solution? One would be nice.
Thank you.
My name is Christy Pommier. I have fostered several animals. I've worked with Gina and a couple other people in this room. I really didn't know much about this committee. About this, the proposal for the committee. But I came because I was able to carve out the time and to support Gina. But I learned a lot today. I learned how critically important this is to the community. And the fact that you can willy-nilly say, don't like the idea. Well, it might be a little more trouble, or it might, you know what, this is so needed. You guys who are voting against this are so unaware of what is going on in this community. I'm appalled. I'm appalled. Get on social media. Start reading some of these threads. There is so much support for this. And Victoria, thank you. Thank you for all you've done. It is so hard to constantly put your heart out there and fight for these animals. It is, I don't know how many nights I've laid awake worried about them freezing out, the strays, and good Lord, we've got dedicated people trying to do something about it, and you're going to waste this resource? This gives politics a bad name. Well, not that it didn't already have one, but now it's so clear to see. I'm appalled. I'm appalled and surprised, because to me, this is a no-brainer.
Thank you. Is there anybody else for public comment? Hearing and seeing none, we'll close this meeting out. We are adjourned. Thank you all.